Blake, welcome. Thanks for joining us, man.
Absolutely.
What is that?
This is
I
an
know it's a
antique-
camera.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
This is a camera from 1907.
1907.
Yes.
And what do you do with it?
So I take tintype photography with it.
Okay.
I do a photographic process that's actually a little bit older than the camera. The process I do is from the it was created in the 1850s. It kind of came after the daguerreotype. It was considered a faster, more accessible process than the daguerreotype. And really, it became even more popular during the American Civil War. So you'll see find a lot of tintypes out in antique stores from the Civil War era, and that's really when this process flourished.
That's amazing. That's amazing. And this is a pretty rare thing, right?
Semi-rare, yeah.
Yeah, but it's starting to pop up. People are becoming very interested in the process.
Yes, absolutely.
And it's absolutely a process.
Yes.
Yes?
It is. It's very much a process. So
And we get to experience that process here today.
I think so, yeah.
Okay, so tell us what you need to do. This is a
No,
complete
absolutely.
behind the scenes. We're going to walk you through the science of how this works and connect it back to our theme momentarily. So what are you doing?
So what I have here is a plate of tin. This is actually aluminum, but it's trophy aluminum because back in the 1850s and 1860s, you had manufacturers making tin plates, and now we just have to use what we can, and that would be trophy aluminum. It works perfectly because it's got a black background, and in order for this process to show a positive image, you have to have a black background. It's also a very messy process. I've already got a stain on my shirt. Hopefully nobody could see it, but this process...
I can definitely smell it.
Yes, that's the ether, so don't get too close. You might fall asleep.
I'm not a scientist, but that's the stuff that they use to make people pass out.
Yes.
Okay. The second row, just hold your breath for the next 60 seconds. You'll be fine.
So what I do is I pour this on the plate, and this becomes the film. This becomes, because that's what it is. It's actually literally a film that goes across the plate. And then I have to make it sensitive to light, because at this point, it's not going to do anything. We're out in the light. There's no way that this is going to be, exposed at this point. I'm going to let it gel. But in order to make it sensitive to light, you have to sit it in a bath of what's called silver nitrate.
Okay.
It's actually crystals of silver that are mixed with basically water, and it has to sit in here a couple minutes for it to become sensitive to light.
So what is the thing you're about to slide it into?
This is my silver nitrate bath.
Okay. So you're giving the tin a bath.
It is, yes.
All right.
So it'll sit there for about 3 minutes.
Awesome. While that's sitting in there, can I ask you a couple more questions about
Absolutely.
this process? When I called you about this idea of liminal space, you immediately resonated with this theme and just this process of photography. Maybe talk about that for just a second.
Absolutely. I mean, really, the whole process of this photography, you have to go through the darkroom. It's very hands-on. The darkroom is my liminal space because you go through there, you enter into this dark space, there's all sorts of things that can go wrong, and there's things that could go wrong with this. There's the way I pour the plate. I don't put it in the bath long enough. You bring it out, and you still have all sorts of problems that could happen. But in order to make it happen, you still have to go through that space. Otherwise, it won't happen at all.
And is there any chance this might not work?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
For sure.
No pressure. Just like
No, not at
1,400
all.
people out there.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's obviously a creative risk. I mean, that's something we can resonate with our creative process, but it is quite literal in this case. Like, we don't even know if this is going to work.
No, not at
but
all.
we're going to give it a shot.
Yeah, it's a very analog process too. So, and I would say that it is a very imperfect process. Even if it is a successful plate, it's going to be imperfect. But that's the thing. It's like all art. It's a human experience. Just you've got to embrace the imperfections, because if you don't accept those imperfections while you're doing it, you'll never get it done. You've got to, accept that.
Yeah, I didn't tell you I was going to ask you this, so I'm kind of putting you on the spot. And I think I already know your answer. Have you noticed that when it comes out different than what you anticipated, that sometimes you find that you like it better?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
The happy accidents, if you will, for
Yes.
sure. So that's just part of it. You accept what it gives you, this
Yes.
entire process. And it will be completely different than what you expected. And then you find that not only do you like it more, but everybody likes it. And then they also think that's what you were meaning and intending the whole time. I don't
Yeah.
tell them any different.
Yeah.
So
That's
Yeah.
That's basically what magicians do for a living.
Exactly.
They don't know what they're
Yes.
supposed to expect. Yeah, I
Right.
relate to that a lot. So after you take this out, the lights. Wow, how is this supposed to work?
yeah, well, so when I reached out to you, I was like, I
Oh, you
had
had
a
this
dream.
You had this dream.
I had
yes.
a dream. I wanted to turn the entire Schermerhorn into the world's largest darkroom. And is it going to be the world's largest darkroom? I don't know.
I did try to call Guinness. It turned into a pretty complicated process
Yeah,
to try to make this official. No joke. But I do want to honor your dream. I
Yeah.
love making dreams come true. I feel like Walt Disney right now or something. This is cool. So we need to turn this space into the world's largest darkroom. Darkroom. A little too dark. But there we go. Yeah, there we go.
Perfect.
All right. Does this work?
Yes, absolutely. And I will say that while we're in the darkroom, we just can't have any flash photography. That's the only thing.
Don't flash photography. As everyone lifts up their phones. That was serious. No, make sure your flash is off. You've all been that person that thought the flash wasn't going to go off, and you took the picture and it flashed, and then you tried to like hide it with your hand as if that was going to work.
Yes.
Don't do that. Don't do that. We don't want to mess up this process. This is a creative risk. I want to honor Blake, but we also need a subject.
Yeah.
We invited a friend. Ladies and gentlemen, would you please welcome to the stage Okorie, OKCello Johnson. Blake, Okorie is going to be both your subject
Yes.
and some music accompaniment. I'm going to get out of your
Yes.
way. Please show us your craft.
Awesome. Thank you.
Blake Wylie, ladies and gentlemen. Yes. Okorie, OKCello Johnson, ladies and gentlemen. Good stuff, right? Good job, bro. Don't worry, he'll be back. He'll be back. I think it worked.
I think it did.
I think it did. That's amazing. And this is, you didn't just take one tintype successfully on stage. You took 3?
Yes.
Okay.
This is a triple exposure. I wanted to really express Okorie's movements. You know?
Yeah.
And that's one of the things, you know, with that camera especially, is there's no shutter. So
Sure.
that's why everything was dark. If I'm outdoors, I have to use my hand as the shutter on that camera. So in this case, the actual flashing of the strobes, that became my shutter. So every time I snapped it, I was getting another shot. So this is really 3 pictures in one.
And you were explaining yesterday, I'm not a photographer, so this sounds foolish to me, but I'm sure some of them share this. What is actually happening? What is the science? This is a shadow, a reflection?
Yeah, every time I give someone a plate, I give them their picture. I just want them to I always try to explain to them, it gives it deeper meaning to where they understand that their actual reflection, and it's kind of unique to these early photographic processes, where their actual reflection is embedded at that point in time onto this plate. And this is the actual picture that they take with them. It's not a copy or a print or anything like that. So even if you find a tintype, like I was saying, an antique store, or you've got antiques, you know, or tintypes that were handed down by relatives from years ago, that actually has their reflection embedded in that image. It's actually captured in the chemicals, in the silver in the plate.
That's super cool.
So, yeah.
I feel like we need to do something with this. I think maybe we should put it out in the information booth or something. That way you guys can come up and see it close up. Let's plan on doing that.
Sure.
This is amazing. I don't know what else to say other than just thank you. Blake Wylie, ladies and
Thank
gentlemen,
you.
thank you for taking
Thank you.
the risk,
Appreciate
man.
it.
It's amazing.
All right, have a good
Thank
one.
you.
Thanks.
Thank you.